He's my guy. What's good? What's good? Welcome to another episode of Kickin at Mellow with your favorite people. What's up? How your week been? It's okay. Drive down, sit in your seat on a beanbag, on the toilet, wherever you are. Kick back and relax and get into the vibes. It is your favorite host, Ashley Elise.
You know, I was thinking, like, after that beginning, I was like, remember, like, back in the day, like, in Nickelodeon and stuff, like, on some, like...
I was just fucking King and Kel.
You was?
Yeah.
That's fire. Look at that. That's crazy how the universe works. But y'all know what it is, man. It's the one and only Brandon and Vincent back at it again on the couch, in the room, in the podcast room. You already know what I'm saying? The energy is just amazing in here. But before we get started, we gotta tap into... Huh? What was I gonna say?
About the 90s. I mean, not 90s.
Well, I was just thinking about, like, how, like, you know, some of them shows where it's just, like, what they call it, like, breaking a wall or something like that, where it's just, like, they be talking to the camera, but, like, everything else is paused.
Oh, like, I'm talking to them as if, like, you're not right here. Yeah. So I can low-key be capping on you real quick and then come back.
Yeah, like, everything else frozen and just, like, that person just talking. Okay. And then it resumes right afterwards.
Wow, fire you. Alright. Well, what's this gonna say?
Yeah. We got Mellow in the back. I don't know if you want to say a couple words to the people.
Yeah, work.
Hey guys. Yeah, I'm at work today, so yeah. I don't see anything any other day.
That's tough.
She's whispering. Oh, what was you about to say when we were about to get into it? What we about to do?
You said what?
You was about to say something. We was about to get into it.
Yeah, I said let me introduce. I'm Mellow.
Okay. We just gonna have to. She's gonna have to catch the cue. We ain't gonna be doing it. She's gonna just jump in by now, cause I don't know what number episode this is, but by now we gotta have that rotation down. Type there.
We'll work on it.
All right.
Under construction.
She been under construction since we started.
I didn't want to take it that route. Cause you was supposed to have a whole new IG a long time ago.
Right. Okay. What's the question?
My life is chaos. It's in chaos right now, so leave me alone. Give me 2 more months. I got y'all.
2 more months?
The Instagram
gonna be on by then.
I don't know.
It's gonna be 30th episode by then.
We're gonna be on the reunion.
For real. We're gonna be on season 3. Shoot. And we don't need to do season.
Slow motion. Some people just move like that. But it be like that.
What was you watching Kickin and Kill on, though?
Downstairs on TV. They got it on Netflix.
I think I did see that.
Yup.
That's my show.
With the question today.
That was my question.
This would be one of those moments where I like zoom in and fire him up. Cause what the what?
All right, I got a real question. You ready?
I really feel like it's gonna be an intellectual question.
Yeah, I know. I always come with those. All right. Who loves orange soda? Kel loves orange soda. Is it true? Mm-hmm. I do. Ooh.
Oh wow, everybody got their childish hat on.
Oh man, that was my show. Oh, shout out to Finn. Finn used to watch it with me growing up all the time.
I used to watch that mug with my brothers. We used to watch everything, like the Wild Thornberry.
Yeah, Wild Thorn.
My fourth brother, we used to call him that because he was.
You talking about the little dude?
Yeah. Like, you rank last.
That's
Mama
funny.
Good with the kids. You be an interesting one. But yeah, that's funny.
Gotcha. I gotcha. Okay, so I guess my real question is, you know, back then, you know, everybody had like their like shows and stuff. Do you feel like if you had a show, would you want your show to be like how it was in the 90s, the 2000s, or the 2010s?
Are you tripping? The 90s off the top, like that's not even a real question.
But you was like a little wee lad then.
Right. That mug kept me entertained. I don't know what started popping off like in the 2000s.
You remember like Drake and Josh and all them in the 2000s?
I mean, yeah, but that was
like iCarly, Sweet Life of Zack and Cody.
Boy Meets World, but like
Boy Meets World was 90s. Lizzie McGuire.
But that's what I'm saying. Like,
Oh, you talking about
I remember
90s?
those shows,
Yeah.
but like, okay,
That's tough.
that's nothing.
Okay.
That's like Little Caesar's Pizza.
Okay, what about the 80s too? Because there was some good ones in the 80s too. Would you pick 80s over 90s or no?
Can I have a mix? Yup.
Some of them did leak over like a different world and all that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I was thinking different world. Yup. Get into it.
Yeah, it's a different world.
What's happening? High key.
What's
like,
happening? That's like 70s though. Good times.
My mama had that mug on DVD. All the seasons. Be up in there with Big Laughing. So the Jeffersons. What's happening? Good times. Like all of that. All the shows was lit.
Definitely. Okay. Yes, that's a hard question. But I think for sure it had to be.
The cartoons. I'm not even a cartoon person. My bad. I ain't got like hype. Like I be watching cartoons all the time. But the best cartoons, high key, Tom and Jerry. They never even spoke. You got the Road Runner running around like they don't. Jerry, let me. I'm about to say something off the wall, inappropriate. But even the Rugrats, like I'm talking about cartoons, like growing up. Like after that, I can tell you what cartoon I did not like.
What cartoon was that?
Courage the Cowardly Dog.
Why not? It's a classic.
Ew! Like why you do people like that? Like why you do the kids like that?
Oh, you was
like,
scared.
I ain't gonna say I was scared or whatever, but I'm just.
You didn't watch
like,
it at night though. That's what you're saying.
It wasn't funny. It didn't make me laugh.
Gotcha.
Like, ew.
I'm gonna keep it a buck. I probably had some moments where I didn't watch it at night either. I probably watched something else. Growing up, my favorite show was definitely Rocket Power, cartoon wise. That was it.
Yeah, I used to watch Barney. Yo, what was that TV show where they be like, singing time to say out of the box. Yeah, time to say goodbye. That one was good. But yeah, it's crazy.
Okay. Now, Out of the Box was a classic.
No Teletubbies though.
Yeah. And speaking.
Barney? Yeah, that was me.
Yeah, I start naming some shows I know people ain't watched. Cause every time I name them, people act like they didn't know who it was. Like Zaboomafoo.
Yeah, every time you say that, I'm gonna.
Yeah, people acting like they know Zaboomafoo. A legend. Rest in peace. You know what I'm saying? R.I.P. to my guy. But low key though, a lot of things that slept on was the game, the kids game, the game shows back then. Like I don't know if I used to watch Nickelodeon Gas, but that was it. Like Legends of the Hidden Temple, and like Guts. You remember? Do you have it? Ooh, do you have it? Guts. See, if I was back, I'm not gonna lie, low key, one of my things that I would want to do one day is just to host a game show. Definitely, I definitely love being a host because they just be amplified for no reason. Like, yeah, dang, I remember none of them was Finders Keepers.
No. I was outside playing.
I was outside playing too.
Well, I went outside like 30 minutes playing.
Yeah, I was outside all day.
Why, by choice?
Yeah, because if you go outside, you can't come back. You gotta stay out there. So once you're out there, you're out there.
I was thinking like, oh, what are we gonna talk about on today's segment? And I actually wanted to talk about creativity as it relates to like childhood type thing. So it's very interesting that we started off this segment talking about TV shows. And it's funny to me because I haven't even talked to this guy, so he has no idea what has been on my mental. So it's just very funny that it came up to be this way type thing. But really interesting just starting off on like TV shows that we used to watch. Shoot, I used to play the Xbox and the PlayStation, PSP, Nintendo. I was just telling somebody I used to play with cars because all I had was brothers. I did have my own doll set or whatever, but I can vividly remember like one day just going to my room and just placing all those dolls in a trash bag because I was just like, they taking up too much space on my bed. And I just yak the mugs and put them in the trash bag. I remember my little kitchen set when I used to play like I was
had the easy bake oven.
I got robbed and I just never got a play set back. So like after a while, just no more toys, but straight up video games and playing outside. So.
You ever had a game cast?
Nah.
Yeah. You remember that when Malibu's Most Wanted?
Nah, I remember that movie, but I'm drawing a blank on that.
No, it was funny because it was like you had a GameCube or a Dreamcast.
See, we ain't had that one. Nintendo, PlayStation, PlayStation 2, and then PSP vibes, Xbox vibes, Xbox 360 vibes, Game Boy.
Yo.
We had all of those.
Facts. Ooh,
Grand Theft Auto, we used to stay up all night. There was 4 of us, so my mom would split us up 2 and 2. Somebody got the Xbox, somebody got the PlayStation, and me and my older brother, we used to just play the game until we beat it, like 48 hours.
See, you had siblings that was near your age. See, me and my brother is so far apart that I was one of those where it's like, okay, I was playing, and a good amount of his childhood was he was playing, but his controller wasn't plugged in. So, it was one of those like, is this 2-player? Yeah, it's 2-player. You that one right there.
You started lying there earlier.
He was like, why I'm not?
That literally hit the baby too, like what we just over there.
No, for real, just pressing the button.
But shoot, whenever you don't know how to play and you like, okay, or when you trying to put cheat codes in, I remember them cheat code days.
Yeah, cheat codes crucial. That's why I didn't want to play him though, because all he was doing when he was young was button mashing. Right, so you hate losing to somebody that ain't playing, especially if you playing like a Mortal Kombat or like something like that, and they just smashing buttons. You trying to actually do combos, and they not respecting your game. They just forget what you talking about. I'm just they just straight jabbing you the whole time.
And I used to be cold at 2K and Madden.
Yeah, used to.
I always had the Patriots.
You used to be, you probably used to be cold. You said you was cold back with Dwayne Wade was on the cover.
Kind of a little disrespect in the throat. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. It got a little bit too advanced, a little bit beyond me, because I gave up the gaming hat. Like I had tabled it. I got busy. Some of us, was still playing games.
Yep,
so
definitely.
Kept up with the skill set. You know what I mean?
What Deontay Wilder say? To this day, still play games to this day.
Head. But I would actually like to get back to playing video games, which is kind of like breaking into the topic. I've been trying to, kind of sort of like reflect back on my childhood and figure out like, was there like a good component of it and what was it type thing, like what activities did I like doing, really and truthfully just trying to bring back my creative side, or like give my inner child like a hug, like, oh, okay, what can we do for you today, like in this old age, adult age type thing, where your creativity was like suppressed growing up by somebody else who creativity was suppressed. Like, what can we do now? I mean, like as an adult, like it's okay for you to like work out, cook, go to work, read a book, but it's like I wasn't doing those things as a kid. Like, while I don't mind doing these things, like, is there something that I did as a kid that I thoroughly enjoyed, but I had to table it or whatever? And can I still do that currently right now? Which I think painting is very dope. I don't recall like doing that as a kid other than being at school, but I think that's an amazing creative like outlet, as well as like roller skating or whatever. But I just been trying to like navigate like, what is it? And surprisingly, I cannot come up with the lickety split of what I used to do.
Gotta hook that Wii up from downstairs.
Hook that Wii up. Yeah.
Get to that Wii bowling. That was.
And tennis. But I didn't have a Wii then. So, but I think really, like you said, I was outside. Like, when you go outside, you can't come back in the house. So make your mind up. And what they were saying was essentially get out. They weren't expecting you to say you're going to pick the house option.
Right. Because ain't nothing to do in there. So you might as well leave.
Right. But also make sure, I was just telling somebody, also make sure you come back before the street lights come on. Mm-hmm. And you know what? At this old age, I was thinking like, why do I have to come back before the street lights come on? Because what can happen in the dark can also happen in the daytime. You ain't outside with me, so how you know what's going on type thing. I be like sometimes like playing like, oh, I look like I'm 14, so like let me pretend like I'm a kid, but my mouth would give me away because I would be smart about it. Like, what's the difference between night and day type thing? But I was like thinking all the way back to how it was like linked to like the upbringing of like African Americans like in this country. Like, you don't want to go nowhere like when it's like sundown type thing. So I feel like that's where it probably like came from. And people just say it now, like make sure you back in the house before nighttime type thing without actually realizing like where it actually comes from.
Yeah, I think I'll make this quick point that we can go back to the creativity side. I think the sad thing about it is that it's more cautious now, even in the daytime. Like you're talking about, like you really want to be with your children or whatever. Like,
period.
Yeah, period. Because it's not even safe in school if we keep it in the book. So it's like
school, on the street, in the grocery store. Like there's been so many stories on social media where I see somebody say like, oh, somebody was like following them or like watching their child or it was in the grocery store on the way to the parking lot. And I just don't like being on social media, and it's just very scary to where I'm like, dang, I can't really go outside by myself. I literally just had like a nightmare like 2 days ago that I was like outside by myself walking, and like 3 males like approached me and essentially kind of was just like all in my space and wouldn't let me go type thing. And I was like, bruh, not in my dream. Hold up, wait a minute. But it was like, yikes, that's a very terrifying thing. But back into the original topic, which is creativity, just thinking about things that you used to do as a child or that you actually enjoy, that you was probably told like, oh, you can't do that no more, or oh, that's childish, you gotta grow up type thing. Do you have any idea what you enjoy doing that you could probably implement now?
I think at its core, I always enjoy the challenge, so that's kind of what I do now. Unfortunately, I don't get to play the game as much anymore. I do got a PS5, so if anybody wanna holler at your boy, a new Call of Duty come out, I am gonna try to get on that. Maybe with a new 2K drop, I'll probably get on that. But that you had what? Twipping. But nonetheless, like I think the new challenge for me, once I started getting a little better at tennis, like I'm kind of complacent where I'm at with tennis. And I still play it enough, but I'm really like into like the golfing thing now. Like I've been really practicing more on my own, like at Herman Park. I just go up there because it's public, and I ain't gotta dress up like that. Like I see people out there with like Houston Astros t-shirts and stuff like that. I'm like, oh, it's really relaxed. So I go up there. I mean, I still respect the game, so I might come up there. You know, I got some golfing shorts, so I might come up there golfing shorts, but a regular like dry fit regular t-shirt, not the collar shirt. And I just go putt for like 30 minutes, then I go chip 30 minutes, and then I go hit for like 30 minutes, and then it's like, okay, like I'm doing this now twice a week, and then, you know, hopefully that'll improve my game. So it's more so the challenge, because what I did like to do as when I was really young, like 2nd and 3rd grade, I used to play chess a lot. Like before school, me and my friends we would play chess. Well, me, not all my friends, but like some of the other ones that wasn't afraid to play chess would go and play before school started. And after 3rd grade, it wasn't like, I guess it's cool no more. But I feel like golf is like a chess game in a sense. You said what? It'd be. But I feel like golf is like a chess game in a sense a little bit. So it's kind of challenging me in my mental state for literally 4 or 5 hours. Like, it's not many things to where you can be literally playing or doing something for 4 or 5 hours. You can make a mistake 2 seconds into the game, and you gotta last the 4 or 5 hours.
It's interesting that you say like chess and checkers, because like I didn't do that, and like I don't know anybody else like who did it like that I know of like in my community or whatever. The games that we used to play, like we used to be outside playing kickball. I don't get picked last year because I'm quick on the feet. But another game we used to play is called Cops and Robbers. And like while you were talking about like chess and checkers, I'm like, bro, why was we playing like Cops and Robbers like on our bike type thing? Like who created that game? Like very interesting name. And it just made me think of like, depending on where you are, your environment, who's raising you and who's raising the other children in the community, that creativity or that childlike activity, it looks different type thing. It's kind of like based on your environment. Because I don't even remember the point of Cops and Robbers. Like, I don't even remember how you win or how you lose. But apparently,
it's really just like
trying to get away.
Yeah, bona fide tag or hide and seek in a sense.
Right. Used to play that game too.
I think I do one thing that I did do a lot, and I mentioned this on the pod before, I believe, is that I used to do word searches a lot. Like my granny used to really do word searches with me. We used to like race and stuff, and I got really good at them to a point now. I can't, like, I be itching to buy a book. Like if I go to a dollar store or something, I see a word search, but I be wanting to get it. But then it's like, this not gonna be challenging enough for me. Like, you know, like it's just not gonna cap. It's like basic for me. And so like I had the app on my phone, and there was times where I'd go and I'd play against people like online. Like you gotta find the words the fastest, and like I haven't lost shit. Or even like the iMessage games. I stopped playing word games with friends because like I wasn't losing, and so it didn't seem fair. So it's like one of those things where it's like I realized I really got good at least finding words, like this whole strategic.
Yeah, you sound more like stimulation on like an intellectual like level, like mental stimulation in regards to like the activities that you're participating in. Even like listening to you talk about like word search and stuff like that, I was like, what else was I outside doing? Playing house, making food out of dirt. It's like all my games that I can think of is like survival of the fittest. Even when it comes down to the video games that I was playing type thing. Like I was either creating a different reality when I was using Sims, or like we trying to make something shake with Grand Theft Auto type thing. It was just always something in relation to like survival. Like now that I reflect back on it, so it's very interesting, creative space. High key.
Yeah. Oh, you ever built a fort?
Nope. Because everybody knows you can knock those things down. So
because I used to love Legends of Hidden Temple. So I remember I was at my auntie house one time when my friends were over. He used to watch it too. I know y'all ain't seen it, Legends of Hidden Temple, but it was fire.
Right.
And so at the end, they you got to go to the little temple, find a piece, and then come back. But it's like this. It's like a maze in the sense of like different like obstacles and stuff. So like we literally turned the living room to like this whole major like thing. That mode was kind of fire. Why you keep making noises? I'm confused.
You know what that noise was?
Wait for it.
It's not gonna be what she said it is. I know what she tried to do, but that's not what it sounded like.
Oh, what I tried to do?
You tried to do a whistle.
No. You tried to do a fast forward.
Oh, that was worse. That was worse.
Wow.
That was worse.
Major cap. But yeah, so that's a little exploration of childhood activities, what that looked like. But really what prompted the conversation or the spark in my thought is like, okay, being an adult, it's very interesting. I was about to say it's great. It's not. It's a very interesting task, on a daily basis. But we gotta do it eventually, right? But it's like becoming an adult, does that automatically mean that you have to remove like your inner child, the things that create the excitement for that kid? And then even like a little further like into that conversation is what happened to the creativity, like what happened to the imagination of the kid, what happened to this carefree spirit, just going out there giving things a try regardless of like failing. Like when did that go away, or what actually contributed to that type thing? That was a conversation that I was having, and I pretty much was saying like that creativity of the inner child, or that freedom of that child growing up, was essentially capped by people who had the space capped for them. Like, okay, you got to grow up by this age, you got to do this, or you can't think like this, or you can't have imaginary friends, or you can't be imagining X, Y, and Z reality. It's just like somebody like capped it. But like, why did they cap it? I have no idea. But I know the impact of that. I don't really think it serves us as much as they thought it was. It's kind of like they wanted us to grow up rather quickly, but for what benefit? Because we were eventually going to get to this space type thing. But those were my thoughts that I was having like this week. Like, who capped my creativity, or why was it capped? Like, why did I have this thing of having to grow up fast? Well, that's because of like my upbringing and some experiences that I had. But like, why did I have to let go of that like child life like experience type thing? That's probably why I'm craving like trying to do something along the lines of what made me excited as a kid, like in my present life. Like, can I bring back that sense of happiness as a kid in my current adult life type thing.
No, I definitely can agree and see that. I think on the contrary as well. I think a lot of times, at least with me, and you may be able to say the same. I feel like individuals did not tap in with me like they should have. Like I feel like they put me in a box. They knew I was smart and gifted, but they was still like, oh, this guy, he's still a kid, he's still this, and it's like,
you know what he talking about, you don't know what he doing,
right? And it's like not realizing, like, just keep it a buck. Like I appreciate all those that put in anything as far as making me who I am. A lot of stuff that is told to me, even to this day, like, and I'm still listening. This is stuff that I've, like, advice given to me. It's like, bro, like, I've been on this for like 4-5 years and you're not telling me this. It's like, well, how do you think of me? If you think, like, and it's like random, like, it's not like, oh, we having a conversation and it leads to like this, like whatever. It's like, nah, hey, I was thinking about you, I think you should be doing this. It's like, you don't think I've already been doing that? Like, but it's like, no, it's like, no
those
disrespect.
are like reflections of people. They're projecting themselves or the lack thereof onto other people.
Right. It's just I just hope that I don't
do that.
Limit when I'm with the next like generation per se. Because I actually learned that at a very young age. Because when I was in high school, we used to go back to the middle schools, the intermediate schools, and elementary schools, and do engineering projects with them. And that's when I was working. I remember specifically I was working with 6th grade students in my old intermediate school, and they were English as a second language students. And like we hearing from their teachers before we pull up. Mind you, we like juniors, engineers. Like, you know, we do like we was building robots and stuff. Like we was doing random stuff. And we come to them and they're like, yeah, these kids they struggle here, they struggle there. Like they don't know this, know that. And so me and my team, well, me, and it's like two of us, like 3 of us, we got a whole, like, we got like 10 students, and we don't go in there thinking none of that. Like, yeah, we know what they're saying, but we go in there and start talking with the kids, and we work with them literally all day. These kids were able to solve some problems that I know I had. There's no captain, some friends that I had that wouldn't be able to solve that in regards to calculating distance and all that stuff. When we had with the we was dealing with like a major soccer field and stuff. We was doing random mathematics that the teachers probably wouldn't have thought they could do, but they did it with us like in a day. And so it's kind of crazy the cap that people put on, especially kids. And so that's the one thing I would say as far as me growing up. I really feel like people put a cap on me prior to. And that's why I'm so big on now. Like, you can't tell me, you can't pigeonhole me. That's why I wanted to go into a field where I couldn't be pigeonholed to something. Because I'm like, there's nothing, you can't describe me with one word. You can't even describe me with 3. You can't describe me with an essay.
Kneecap. Yeah.
You can't describe me with it. What'd you say? A kneecap? A kneecap, whatever you said.
But yeah, and I totally get that, the limitations or like the box that people place you in, whether it's in an academic setting or within your family. I feel like people mean well. I just think they're essentially passing down the instructions that they were given without actually thinking or examining these guidelines that they were giving, that they're passing down. But me personally, I wholeheartedly hope that I don't limit somebody's like creative window or thinking or world based off my own personal experience. I mean, like whenever I have children, just freely think as you choose. You know, I don't intend to pass down my ways of thinking and hoping that you hold them concrete. I also don't wish to cap you know, your logic or your ways of moving type thing based off my own personal experience either. While you were talking, I was literally thinking about so like I said, I used to play with cars because I only have brothers, I don't have any sisters. And I remember like playing with cars. I used to like rub it like all over their head, like pretend like it was clippers or whatever. And then it was like this one time I was like, bro, the hair just not moving. So shoot, I went in there, I got a razor, and I had to start shaving my brother's head out. My mama came in there like, wow. So We had to call my cousin. It was late in the middle of the night. My brother had to get that ball fade because he was up in there looking like a mother freaking me peacock. But now, like, my clipper game is so cold and it's crazy because I really wasn't thinking about it until this session. But I just magically picked up some clippers one time when I was dating this person who I thought was like attractive. They just needed a haircut. And I just really just started teaching myself how to cut hair. And it's something that I actually enjoy doing. And then I always chop it up because I still do it to this day whenever I have free time. I always chop it up to the fact that, like, it's literally like a person's head is like my canvas type thing. It allows me to still have that creative space. And just now reflecting on it, maybe it's like also like a hugging, like my inner child, like take me back to those moments where I used to play cards, like with my little brothers type thing. So it's always dope. I'm Lily be giving me that signal and be throwing me off, y'all. But yeah, just like cross-referencing like my current thoughts, my conversations that I've been having with myself this week, as well as like the reflections that I've been having on this couch. It's very interesting that we as people tend to cap other people's like creative space, other people's creative world, but yet we still like seek a space where we can be innovative type thing, like contribute to society. But maybe if we stop capping people at such an early age, maybe inventions would happen more frequently type thing, and maybe we would progress in society. But that's actually, you know, my thought type thing. I don't know if it's necessarily factual. But aside from creating inventions, maybe also it would probably be less depressed people. Because maybe you could exist in the world more authentically type thing, as opposed to fitting within a box that you were never actually meant to fit in type thing. Or maybe you won't have to necessarily separate your current version of yourself, like as an adult, from the child version of you. Because ideally, all of you creates like this one person. But when you have to create that separation, like this is me as an adult, this is me as a kid, it's kind of like, well, shoot, can we all play together? The answer is yes, in my world type thing, but I don't think it's like that in everybody's world. But that was my tidbit on the topic.
Yeah, no, definitely. I think I agree. I hope that moving forward, us and the generations that follows, we can maybe reverse that trend.
Don't say us, because when I told y'all I wanted to build all the furniture in the house, y'all told me no.
That has nothing to do. You didn't let me finish what I was saying.
Okay.
What? That's I hope us and the next generation don't put a cap on those that follow and allow them to just do what they do freely and don't judge them either, because we all have gifts, and even if you are at an age right now where you feel like, you know, it's either too late or something, it's never too late to tap into what you have, and you've been doing it already, you just haven't been aware of it. So just take time to really sit back and get to re-know yourself again, because I promise you, I'm amazed every day, and that's by people that's younger and older than me, that half my age and double my age. Like I promise you, like it's you can never stop growing, you never stop learning, and your gifts never go away. You just yourself potentially lose sight of them, but you can always get it back.
Yeah, off top, it's kind of like you either throw it in the closet willingly, or somebody strips it, I guess, from you, or shoves it in the closet and shuts the door and tells you to remove yourself from the space. The point of like reflecting back on my childhood to examine, you know, things that possibly could have made me happy, or the creative space, was to come back to my present moment and decide whether or not those spaces of happiness, those spaces of creativity, would actually be tied to my current purpose in life type thing, what I actually like am passionate about doing or whatever. So that's the point of the reflection or whatever. Maybe it'll be different for you as you go back and examine, but I do think it's important to stay in tune with those spaces that make us happy, whether it's childlike or not, creating that connection within ourselves type thing, and making sure we have those outlets that can make us feel free, young, energetic, whatever the terminology may be. We all need those pockets in this oh so lovely world with all these new laws being created. But I think that's actually the end of this segment. Is it the end of the segment? Correct. So that is the actual end of this segment. Hopefully you found either one word, one sentence, multiple sentences, or the whole segment interesting. All of it. Yo, if you did, drop some comments below. If you did, actually share it to somebody and start a conversation. Ask somebody, yo, like, what was your creativity space growing up? Who capped it? Why they capped it? The influence of that. Start having these conversations. This is the point of the conversations that we're having on this couch. You can have it with us. You can have it with your friends, with your fam. Either way it go. Keep the conversation flowing. Until next time.
Yeah. And drop y'all favorite shows, too, in the comments, too. 'Cause I know we talked about 90s and 2000 shows. Drop the mugs down there, too.
And while you're down there, if you haven't already, go ahead and subscribe, like, and share. We are on all streaming platforms. And that is it, sweetie.
Hardcore. Like, I know how he would be.
He's like, he'll keep pushing. He's like, nah, just keep going, keep going.
Yeah, he's not gonna let you stop.
I'm gonna have to stop and breathe.
And he'll be laughing, he'll be smiling. All right.
Right.
Yeah.
But
the whole time too, like telling you to.
I could probably be like when I be playing him in tennis, when he be like capping on me and stuff, and like it'd be funny or whatever. I just keep going. I try to be better or whatever. So it could possibly work out, but I just feel like spinning.
It's a lot of.
Never been in my life.
I can really ride a bike, so spinning that easy.
That's my station is.
But probably like seeing him do it would like motivate me to do it, and the smiles, the laughs type thing would lighten up the energy. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah, I think he'll be.
I ain't saying that I'm gonna keep spinning 100% of the time. A break gonna happen. He gonna have to be disappointed, but it'll be alright.
As long as you try, that's all that matters.
Cause it would start dragging. Dragging like I'm dragging this wagon.
Dragging tails. That's another one.
Yo, the Avatar used to be clutch. I know they was in the 90s, but like, good.
Yeah, people mess with Avatar.
Rugrats definitely had you sitting on the floor watching.
I used to watch Roly Poly Oly, PB&J Otter.
Yup.
Codename Kid Next Door.
I don't know some of these, but it's very obvious.
You know Phoenix and Ferb though. That's one of the last ones that was good.
I know that one.
You know, I heard somebody a theory lately where they said Phoenix is actually like not alive.
He's like a figment of his imagination.
Figment of the sister's imagination.
Candace? I thought it was his imagination. Well, I guess it makes sense because Candace is always the one.
Always snitch on them, but, but the parents never see them doing that.
Yeah.
So like, I remember watching it, but like, blank.
Oh yeah, it makes sense. That does make sense.
Yeah, when they said, I was like, dang.
That makes sense.
That'd be crucial.
The writers were smart.
So stick with us, cause Phineas and Ferb are gonna do it all.
Phoenix and Ferb are making a title sequence.
Really, Our Parents, another one.
Yeah.
Y'all see it? I don't know if you've seen the trend on, probably not on TikTok or Instagram or wherever, where it's like having your own Cosmo and Wanda with you when you just like finding random pink and green objects near you.
Oh, I didn't see that. That's dope, though. That's dope, though. AKA's how I feel.
Somebody, who is that?
There's one of them. They're like the Temptations, where they was singing all day.
No, that's
Hazel.
Mother Bear.
I guess she dated Ruffin.
And I gotta make this food. How ain't neither one of y'all cooked already?
Well, that's fine too, as long as I just have the what's it called?
Bread.
Okay.
Yeah. All I gotta do is make the meat. So that's why.
You trying to get thicker? So you got that bread?
Stop it.
That bread, you seen that bread?
Yes, bruh.